Chat, so I'm a little bit late, mostly because this dropped at like 3 or 6 a.m. my time, something like that, in the middle of the night, so I was asleep. But the new Overwatch 2 Street Fighter 6 collab dropped. Spoilers for you and myself, I actually know of at least one thing with this, because I saw everyone really mad this morning when I woke up. We'll talk about it when we get there. Chun-Li Juno. I think people are surprised at that one, because it was a semi-obvious choice. But it looks good though. I did not know much about Street Fighter, so low-key was like, why is he charging a Kamehameha?
Here comes a new challenger.
10 million skins to Kiriko. Wait, there's so many though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is this is by far the most skins in a collab ever. The hell? Wait, who are the other ones though? Chat, help me out here. Help me out here. I'm not a Street Fighter pro. This is Sigma, but who is Sigma? He's Bison? Okay. Who's this? Goulet? Goulet is Soldier. Kiri. Who's Kiri? Jury. Winton. Who's Winton? Blanca. I don't remember her name. Cammy. Chun-Li. Hanzo is Ryu. And then Zenyatta as Dalsum. I saw CarQ's tweet, no E Honda, and he was sad. Which is funny. So, there's a very obvious one in the room, which is Juno as Chun-Li. A lot of people were like, what? Mei was right there. I'm actually very surprised. But also, I feel like, okay. I see like honestly, the biggest complaints I see around Overwatch these days is who gets skins. And I feel like the big one is like people get really sad or mad that the same characters seem to always get skins. Even though in this one it's definitely mixed up a little bit. Like Sigma got one, Hanzo's getting one, Winston's getting one, Zenyatta's getting one. But like, yeah, there's the classics. Juno's getting another one. Kiri, of course, gets 10 million skins to Kiri. Widow gets one, and Soldier gets one. But like, I guess my question is if they start doing larger bundles like this, where they start doing, instead of like 4 heroes, it's like 6 or 7. That way they can still pump out their skins that probably make them tons of money, but then they also like sprinkle in other characters' heroes too. Isn't that kind of a best of both worlds? Because I know a lot of people get really, really upset, but like, wouldn't that be best of both worlds? No? You got this, like they make the skins that obviously make them the most amount of money, right? Because like, it's hard to tell them not to do that as a business, but also getting stuff for other skins too. It's like, you just get more content. They gave the French person a skin based on the character who's British. I mean, come on, you know, like, I'll be honest with you, who gives a f on that one? You know what I mean? Who gives a f? I understand what you're getting at, but like, I don't think anyone in the world cares about the French British rivalry outside of French and British people. And maybe, hey, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong on that one. But outside, none of us give a shit. But anyways, though, yeah, I don't know. I've seen the most, I guess, discourse around always talking about like who gets what. And I guess it is kind of interesting I think Juno's already gotten more skins in like 4 seasons than every other Overwatch 2 character that's come out not named Kiriko. More than Queen, more than Sojourn, more than Venture, Malga, by a lot. Gunnar bucks are real. I'm gonna be real with you. I do not think it's because of that. I think Juno is just extremely popular. Her design makes her a little bit easier to work with, and if she pumps it out, then like, why would you not make skins for something that everybody loves, right? Like, I'll give you a good example. Back in my day, when Mercy was the most popular character in the game, you would go to conventions, you'd go to events, and like, one of the most cosplayed things you'd see is Mercy everywhere. You'd see them online, you'd see them at events, whatever it was. And so it was very clear to most people that it was one of the most popular, if not the most popular character in the game, right? Do you think that was because of quote Gunnars? Or do you think that was because people enjoyed the character, thought it was cute, liked something about it? I think you could argue multiple ways on that one. You guys say Gunnars, but like, unless you're calling all the girls doing it Gunnars, I guess too. I guess it's impossible to argue with you at that point, but I think to anyone that's not looking to just be like, haha, I'm right streamer, probably understands what I just said. So I don't think I need to even say any more on that one. So, anyways, cool collab. Wasn't there a patch too for Stadium? You killed Queen? What do you mean I killed Queen? What did I do? All right, so these came out yesterday, but I was already off for the day. Overwatch 2 retail patch notes for May 8th, 2025. Hotfix balance update. Stadium updates tank. D.Va. Developer comments, D.Va has been struggling in matchups against beam-focused heroes like Zarya, where her defensive tools feel less effective. We're adding some synergy with defense matrix / powers and items when using it to mitigate beam damage. We're also adding some power to some of the builds that utilize her main defensive tool, defense matrix, in hopes it will allow them to have a bit more flexibility and apply more pressure in team fights. True, honestly, most of the builds in Stadium kind of feel like you should just go all in on power, right? Like damage, right? Like staying alive, healing / like damage mitigation just doesn't feel very good. Countermeasures power. Decreased mitigation requirement down, or requirement to 100 down from 150. Wait, what? Decreased mitigation requirement down to 100 down from 150. What is it? What was this power? Countermeasure. Holy shit! 9 million buffs to D.Va! Does anyone know what that power does? I don't remember it. The countermeasures one. Mitigate 150 damage, shoot 2 rockets. Oh, so if you mitigate 100 damage, you shoot 2 rockets now. Okay, that's cool. Mastermind's Mitigator. Rare ability hero item. Decreased damage mitigation requirement to 200, down from 300. What did that one do? I don't know. I haven't played enough of D.Va builds. We don't know? Okay, cool. Stat boost power. Increased defense matrix recovery rate to 125%, up from 100%. Ultra wide matrix. Defense matrix duration increased to 25%, up from 20%. This is for like the super wide one, like the flat screen monitor. Multitask mod, epic weapon hero item, increased weapon power to 20%, up from 10%. Singigions, pulse plating, epic survival item, increased ultimate charge gain to 10%, up from 5%. Plot armor, rare survival hero item, damage reduced now gets counted as damage mitigated by defense matrix. Okay, cool. So D.Va just got a buffs. D.Va wasn't that good in terms of like other tanks, but I will say, apparently D.Va is insane on console. So on PC, arguably D.Va was probably the worst tank. On console, apparently D.Va was arguably the best tank, which is very weird. Junker Queen. Junker Queen thrives when she can close the distance and brawl up close. And her current mobility has been allowing her to engage too freely. We're toning down her gap closing potential to make her positioning more deliberate and reduce her ability to aggressively dive into enemy lines without consequence. This should encourage more thoughtful engagements while preserving her core bruiser identity. Booming voice epic ability item. Reduce ability power to 15%, down from 25%. And slicing spree. Rare hero survival item. Reduced movement speed stat to 5%, down from 10%. Reduced move speed while near an enemy with a wound to 5%, down from 10%. And increased attack speed while near an enemy with wound to 10%, up from 5. Oops. That might be my bad. Yeah, I got called out like last weekend. I was playing this build in Stadium, and someone from the Overwatch team may have messaged me and was like, that is just bullying. Because I was running into a team, no joke, 1v5 on the full Queen build. And there was only one way to stop me if they only had, they had two things. They had to have Kiri with double Suzu for one, and even that wasn't enough. And then also, they either had to have their own Queen or Zarya, and it was typically Zarya plus double Kiri. That was actually and May. Actually, it was a triple. It was the only game I got slowed down in. And they're like, that is kind of strong. How did you do that? I was like,
Best way to spend my day off.
My bad.
Sparkling heart emoji.
Reinhardt's been overperforming, especially at lower levels. We're tuning down some of the powers that are more difficult to counterplay, such as melee Reinhardt feeling inescapable due to his crazy amount of movement speed, or being one shot by an impact fire or burst fire strike. As an important known issue with this balance change, the move speed per stack is currently not represented correctly on the tooltip, but it is functionally set at 2%. This will be fixed in a future update. Impact burst power, reduce bonus damage to 15%, down from 20%, and smashing power, reduce movement speed per stack to 2%, down from 3%. I feel like even though these are the right calls, Ryan's probably getting real close to the not going to be very good territory soon. Because, like, okay, all right, real talk. All right, okay, let me break it down to you. The one-shot fire strike thing was a little kind of bullshit, but without it, he kind of just stood there. Also, the standing there and just swinging on them down was also a little bullshit, so I'm glad they're taking that away. But I would like to see the power go into charge build, because the charge build's extremely fun, but it's by far the weakest build. At least I think. At least even the healing build or the damage mitigation build kind of let lets your team go crazy, but it's kind of boring. But some people enjoy that playstyle, right? I call it the Aaron Keller playstyle because he did it when we played, and he was actually goated at it. But the charge build, I think, could use a little help. The other ones were way too strong though, so these are actually good changes. Zarya. Developer comments, Zarya continues to be overperforming, especially at higher levels of play. We reduced some of the survivability of her weapon tools, or weapon power builds weapon power Zarya builds. So she should be more valuable, or vulnerable, especially if she's opting to itemize into full damage. Reduce particle barrier health scaling to 25% of your bonus max life, down from 50. That's a huge one, because life lift was so good. And pre-workout power. Reduce lifesteal to 15% of your energy, down from 20%. Like, let's be honest, for like 2 seconds, sorry. Zarya Zarya is the same reason why I started to dislike 5v5 so much and liked 6v6 so much. And I'm glad that debate's been on the back burner for a little bit, because, you know, everyone's enjoying Stadium, and also, like, if you want to play 5v5, you can play it, and if you want to play 6v6, you can play it. But Zarya is just one of those heroes that just doesn't feel right as a solo tank. It just feels weird, and it's either always going to be kind of semi-busted or semi-shit. And unfortunately, it seems to be kind of taking place in Stadium as well. So I don't know how you're going to deal with that long term. Ashe. Developer comments, Ashe has a strong potential in the hands of experienced players, but parts of her kit have been falling off in the later stages of the game compared to other heroes. We're making targeted adjustments to help her scale more effectively into the late game, while also smoothing out some of the sharp edges that make her less forgiving for newer players. These changes aim to make Ashe a more rewarding pick across all skill levels. Head honcho power. Increase damage per unscoped shot landed to 5%, up from 3%. That's a good change. That's actually a really good change, because the unscoped one was just stupid. It just didn't feel like you needed to take it. Bob Jr. power, reduced attack speed reduction to 20%, down from 50%. Whoa. Holy shit, Bob Jr. is going to be insane. Wait, Bob Jr. was already kind of crazy good? Uh-oh. Infrared lenses, epic hero or ability hero item. Fix an issue where the increased damage against burning targets was applying to the Viper and Bob. Now increases all damage dealt by Ashe to burning targets. Reduce increased damage to burning targets to 20%, down from 25. Okay. I'm guessing things like burn damage wasn't counting. Coach gun wasn't counting. That's probably it, actually. But yeah, Bob is going to be kind of crazy now, especially if you're doing more damage over time, because like burn targets are going to take more damage. Or sorry, they're not taking more damage. They're taking less damage, but now that they should take more damage because they're on fire, right? Like, does that count? Like if they're on fire and they take burn damage, right? You're taking damage while, does it count as 2 or does it only count as 1? You would think it would only count as 1, but the way this is written is like, why wouldn't they just say just coach gun, right? Because like the only other thing that Ashe can do is Viper, Bob, and coach gun, right? So does burn damage do more damage? Melee? Oh, good call. Okay, maybe it is. It could stack. It could stack. It might stack. It might not stack. I'm getting flashbacks to me reading the Bucky patch notes when people were like, you don't know what the you're talking about. And then I ended up being right about it. Oh, Jesus Christ. Anyways, yeah, it's written a little bit weird. I don't know which one it could be. It could have it stack. It could not. But if it does stack, you're going to be getting Bob on cooldown, mini Bob on cooldown. Jesus Christ. Lucio. Developer comments, Lucio's ability power healing builds have continued to give too much healing output for how accessible and consistent they are, and have been overperforming at all levels of play. We're tuning down the healing output here because of how consistently effective it is. Lucio's weapon power builds have been mostly crowded out by an ability power builds in both output and consistency. We're adding a bit more power here to encourage more build variety. That's cool. I like that. Crowd pleaser power healing reduced to 100% of crossfaded healing, down from 150. So like just like the right click heal build, Emong's favorite build. Let's bounce power reduced wall slam damage to 25, down from 40. Reduced knockback increase to 25%, down from 30. Okay. Sonic boom power increase healing to 30% of damage dealt, up to 20%. Fast forward power, increased damage increase to 30%, up from 25. Number 1, single rare ability hero item, reduced ability power to 5%, down from 10. And all out Auditiva? Dude, I can't speak today. It's too early in the morning for me. I just woke up. Okay, it's not even noon yet. Reduced ability power to 15%, down from 20. Reduce amp it up duration to 25%, down from 33. This actually feels like way more nerfs. Wait, they said they were buffing the left, like the damage builds, but like this feels like it's almost nerfs. Almost all nerfs. It's just this one and this one. That's it. It's like 7 nerfs, 2 buffs. I don't know if that's okay. We'll see. And last but not least, Moira. Developer comments, we're adding some small buffs to some of the less popular powers in hopes to better enable the new build paths. Precarious potency power, increased healing to 25% of biotic grasp's healing, up from 20%. And destruction's divide power, increased coalescence effectiveness when toggled to 30%, up from 25. Yeah, they might even need to go to 40, because I don't think it's like that useful. Moira just feels like the most boring and the least useful of all the supports in Stadium.
I have missed you all.
I heard Emong made a Stadium tier list. He took my spot on that one because I hadn't got to play it very much because I was still finishing some rival stuff. Apparently he got to be the one who gets hard flame this time. They're like, Moira's so good. What are you talking about? He's telling me about it. And I was like, how's it feel? How's it feel, man? Like, how's it feel? But yeah, Moira's pretty bad. Just kind of boring. And like she gets outscaled so fast. So anyways though, is this the 3rd patch we've gotten? I think this is the 3rd patch we've gotten since the start of season 16. That's kind of crazy. They've put out 3 patches in like 3 weeks to make sure the game feels good and to like update it and make sure like they're responding to feedback and whatnot. Whether you like it or not, you got to give them credit on that one. You got to give them credit. They really, really are putting in the work. And so I appreciate that a ton. But there you go. There's your patch notes. No actually big complaints on this one, other than Zarya just being like impossible to deal with like as a design in 5v5. And Lucio kind of got like, I think a little overkilled. And I'd like to see some charge buffs to Rein for for compensation to the nerfs. But other than that though, they actually kind of cooked. Oh, there's more. General comments. Nebula Conduit has been too efficient of a power or a purchase for the strength of its efficiency or of its effect. We're reducing some of the weapon power to put more focus on its niche and a bit of an obvious choice in the weapon-focused builds. Booster Jet was too easily enabling builds that benefit from move speed.
What do you think about it?
Especially for a certain tank that swings a large hammer. Generally, we're going to be looking at peeling back some of the move speed increases as we felt they went a bit too far. We're hoping that will help out our less mobile heroes feel like they have a better chance in Stadium. Booster Jet's epic weapon item, reduced movement speed when using an ability to 10%, and Nebula Conduit, reduced weapon power to 5% down from 10. Interesting. I feel like part of what makes Stadium so fun is the extremely fast pace of it, and I would like to at least potentially throw the idea out there that they shouldn't shy away from it, but maybe even think about adding not mobility, but adding ways to make the less mobile heroes feel more mobile, right? Who are some of the non-mobile heroes right now in Stadium? Ashe? No, Ashe has a little bit. Not really, though. Zarya, I would say. Ana. Mei? But Mei doesn't feel that bad, though, because of the rolling around build. I guess if you don't go rolling build, it probably feels bad, right? Actually, doesn't Mei have something where she can, like, spray the ground and she goes faster? Isn't that like an ability you can get on Mei? Or an item? So let's use that as an example. I think that's a cool idea. It's a fun idea. Why not lean more into that, right? Like give more tools or more items to build into those things. It's a dog shit item though. Right. It's not worth it over other items, but like, why not put more power into that? Why not work on giving them more of those tools? Just give them all wings. Dude, take the whataboutism, extremism, and throw it out the window. I'm so sick of it. Because, like, let's say Ana, for example, she gets a very small double jump. Okay, who gives a What if she has no abilities left? Like, she uses her sleep dart and uses her nade. She gets a speed boost, and you can call it, like, empty pockets, right? And it's like, when Ana runs out of things to do, she can run, right? That way you can go, like, sleep dart, throw your nade, peace out, right? Like, if a fight's happening, right? Give little things that enable them to have extra speed or extra movement, because I think movement is fun, and I think a lot of people find it fun. So like just a different perspective potentially. But yeah, there you go. There's your patch notes for May 8th. There you go.